All right, JD, let us know what's going on.
Yeah, so if you've ever been in the north side of the shop for any length of time, you'll know that we've got several of these special use tools that don't really have a home, and they tend to just get in the way and clutter up various areas of the shop. Particularly the wood bay tends to be where everything piles up, and then we have just a giant clutter to deal with. So what we've done is, for the last couple of weeks, people have been working on this area on the back side of the wood bay, and we've tried to designate certain spots for those special use tools that either are used on a regular basis or only used a couple times a week. So it's going to be split between the finishing tools and the specialty tools. Right here you can see a nice home for two of the floor jacks. So these are labeled Jack 1 and Jack 2, and they're able to slip underneath the hardwood on the other side. In the near future, we'll have a spot for all the Begelli lights that we use. We'll be building some racks, so we can just lay them in the racks as we're done with them. And they all return nicely here. We also have a dilemma with all the quick sticks that we use, and needing a nice organized spot for those. So in the works is some racks for the quick sticks that we'll be able to stand them up, and they won't fall on our heads when we try and unload the rack or whatnot. So also something that tends to be a big problem for the last several years is how we store the sawhorses, and they'd usually get leaned up against a wall or against the wood pile, and generally it was hard to know where to put them or where to find them when you needed one. So now we have 4 racks here that if you place the sawhorses on appropriately, we can get 2 pair on each rack. So we have a place for 8 pair of sawhorses if they're stacked alternating like this. So as we go down, we can see that we've got a place for 2 glue pots that we use to spray the stay put for the chem light, and they're labeled for respective pots. And we've got the fresh air system, which still needs a little help in organizing it, but it's got its own home that we can store it here permanently. And we've got space above on this wall that we'll be expanding to use for some of the other tools that we use on a regular basis. We also had a major issue with our drywall jack system that we use to lift panels for the ceiling. There's 5 individual components to this jack, and it tended to just get thrown in various spots in the wood bay. And when you needed a piece of plywood or a piece of hardwood, it was really hard to get to that without moving all 5 components. So we have a place for the 3 upper components, and we also have a spot here for the stand and the lift itself. Goes nicely on this rack here. The last thing we have in the wall is a place for both miter saws. We've got a place for the standard miter and the slide miter, and they fit nicely with their back against the wall, and it's very easy just to shift the weight and slide them out and take these wherever they need to go. So we've got plans in the future. Lots of guys are working on this wall, and I'm sure it's going to change shape, and more things are going to be added to it in the future, but that's what we have so far.
Great. Good job, JD. Thanks so much.